Let's be honest. When you picture a billionaire dropping over $4 billion to buy a professional sports franchise, your mind probably goes straight to luxury. Private jets, champagne in the owner's box, someone treating the team like the crown jewel of their empire, spending whatever it takes to win. And then there's Tom Dundon. Ask any fan in Portland or Carolina to describe their team's owner, and you won't hear a single word about his net worth. Instead, you'll hear about hotel lobbies, missing playoff t-shirts, and a billionaire who somehow runs two multi-billion-dollar sports franchises like he's balancing a corner store spreadsheet. So to really understand how the Portland Trail Blazers ended up at the center of a viral standoff over a late hotel checkout fee, you first have to understand exactly where this guy came from. Tom Dundon didn't build his fortune inventing software or discovering some medical breakthrough. He made his money the hard way, in the brutal, high-pressure world of subprime auto lending back in the 1990s, after a restaurant venture he'd opened first went under. From there, he pivoted into the car business and eventually co-founded Drive Financial Services. The business model was simple and, frankly, ruthless. Hand out high-interest car loans to people with damaged credit who desperately needed a vehicle just to get to work. It was enormously profitable. It was also far from clean. Dundon's company eventually became Santander Consumer USA, and it wound up facing sweeping multi-state lawsuits alleging predatory lending practices, accusations that state regulators didn't take lightly, at one point resulting in a settlement worth roughly $550 million across dozens of states. But by the time the legal dust settled, Dundon had already walked away, leaving the company in 2015 with a severance and stock payout reportedly worth more than $700 million. He'd found a formula, and it clearly worked. Cut without sentiment, squeeze every last drop of margin out of an operation, and never, ever pay a dollar more than you absolutely have to. In 2018, Dundon decided to bring that exact formula into professional sports, buying the NHL's Carolina Hurricanes for around $425 million. Almost immediately, hockey fans got a preview of his management style. This is a man who, by all accounts, hates spending money on anything he personally deems unnecessary. He alienated a chunk of the fan base early on by pushing out beloved, longtime local broadcasters over contract disagreements. He also became known for refusing to hand out traditional long-term extensions to key front office figures, preferring instead to keep people locked into short, cost-controlled deals. And it wasn't just hockey. Dundon poured $250 million into the short-lived Alliance of American Football League, only to pull the plug and shut the whole thing down abruptly within weeks of launch, leaving players stranded mid-season without paychecks or a league to play in. But because the Hurricanes kept winning games on the ice, racking up deep playoff runs and eventually building one of the most passionate fan bases in the league, a lot of the national conversation around Dundon simply glossed over how tightly he was gripping the team's wallet behind the scenes. Then came August of 2025. Dundon led a group that agreed to purchase the Portland Trail Blazers from the estate of the late Paul Allen in a landmark deal valued at roughly $4.25 billion, one of the largest sales in NBA history. Blazers fans, starved for a fresh direction after years of uncertainty around the team's ownership, were hoping for exactly what you'd expect: a serious injection of resources, a renewed commitment to winning, and an owner who'd finally spend like the market demanded. Instead, once the sale was formally approved by the league in the spring of 2026, they got a masterclass in penny pinching that no one saw coming. It didn't just leak out slowly either. It went completely viral almost overnight. During the team's play-in tournament trip to Phoenix, instead of simply paying the standard fee to let staff hang on to their hotel rooms until it was time to leave for the arena, Dundon's front office had players, coaches, and support staff pack up and sit around in the hotel lobby for hours, rather than absorb a late checkout charge. Dundon later defended the move publicly, insisting it wasn't really about the money, and that the staff were fed and comfortable while they waited. Not everyone bought that explanation. At the same time, reports surfaced that the team's two-way players wouldn't be flying with the roster to their first-round playoff series against the San Antonio Spurs, a decision aimed squarely at trimming travel costs, even though every other team left standing in the postseason made a point of bringing their full roster on the road. Then, when the Blazers finally hosted a home playoff game at the Moda Center for the first time in years, fans walked in expecting the usual complimentary playoff t-shirts on their seats, only to learn the organization had decided not to pay for them at all. The backlash was swift, loud, and impossible to ignore. And it didn't take long before national media outlets started running with the nickname that Blazers fans had already landed on, El Cheapo. The absolute peak of the absurdity arrived in the summer of 2026, when it came time to hire a new head coach. Rather than offering a competitive, market-rate deal the way every other franchise in the league does for a first-time head coach, Portland signed respected assistant Micah Nori to a bizarre, team-friendly contract with only one fully guaranteed year plus 2 separate team options tacked on afterward. It was a structure completely unheard of for a modern NBA head coaching hire, and league insiders and rival coaches alike didn't hold back, with some publicly calling it disrespectful to the profession. It instantly made the Trailblazers the punchline of coaching circles across the league. And today, the drama hasn't slowed down one bit. Dundon now finds himself locked in a tense, very public standoff with Portland city government over the future lease for the Moda Center, using the looming threat of relocation as leverage to try to squeeze out the cheapest possible arena renovation deal, even as the state's funding deadline creeps closer. The lesson of Tom Dundon is pretty simple when you step back and look at the whole picture. You can take the guy out of the subprime lending office, but you apparently can't take the subprime mindset out of the guy. For Dundon, owning an NBA franchise was never really about the romance of sports or the pursuit of a championship banner. It's an optimization problem, plain and simple. And until something forces the rules to change, Portland fans are just going to have to get used to watching a $4 billion franchise run like it's operating on a bargain den budget. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that one. That's just a little something I put together to let you know exactly what's been going on in Portland lately. Let me know what you guys think about this guy and how he should really be perceived across the sports world. On one hand, he's clearly built a competitive, winning organization with the Carolina Hurricanes. On the other, Portland is coming off its best season in years, finally clawing its way back into the postseason. But we'll just have to see how the rest of this plays out from here. Drop your thoughts down in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.